what I auditioned for was an actual historical piece, and it has to do with the American Revolution. And I play a lesser known, or I would play, I should say, I would play a lesser known founding father. And I just had 2 pages of dialogue to go off of. And there were things and names in there that are actual accounts. So I Googled all these names and all these different conflicts, and I read exactly what this person must have been going through. And I'm not someone who's suggesting like you need to go super deep, but the only reason I Google those names or read up on this event or some of these people is just so my character has, or I as the actor know what direction to take my character. Like I walk in, for example, and the young protege is printing some of this propaganda. Actually, it's about the Boston Massacre, and there were 5 people who were killed in the Boston Massacre. 3 people were killed instantly, and then 2 died later from their wounds. And some of the founding fathers and revolutionaries decided to print this as the Boston Massacre, and they definitely had an agenda when they did that. And I think understanding that was really helpful, because I get to go into this situation and the other actors conflicted about this. They know that this is propaganda, and my character knows that this is propaganda as well, but I'm rationalizing this as the greater good, and so I'm conflicted. And that's really my essential action. That's what I'm playing. It's, hey, I know this is wrong, but on the other hand, this is for the greater good, so I know what mindset I'm gonna be in. And I think that's gonna inform a lot of the physical choices that I make. And then even before I got on the stage, I asked the director, I said, hey, listen, can I ask you a question? They were very kind, and they said, you can ask me many questions. And I just wanted to know, what was I doing before this? And why have I walked into this printing place? Just so I can kind of understand what was going on. For example, Jason Bateman in Arrested Development does such a good job of like making a coffee in the morning and acting like he's on his way to work, right? That's what he's doing physically. And then, another actor, another member of his family says something wild, and then all of a sudden he's got to like break away from what he's doing to deal with that. And that's such skill that is done so incredibly masterfully, where I'm doing something, because as an actor, you don't just walk on the stage and then wait to say your line. Like, your character is doing something. They're going on about their day. They're trying to go to the store. They're trying to do this. They're trying to go do something. So figure out, 1, like, what is this person actually doing? And then 2nd, there's the dialogue and the conversation that you're having. And on point 2, it's not like any actor goes out there and they just stand on the stage like waiting to say their line. They're doing something, right? Whatever that character is doing, they're doing. And then 2, you're only saying something because you're trying to communicate something. So how are you feeling when you communicate that thing? In my case, I'm trying to be understanding, but I'm also trying to rationalize this to myself and the other actor. But again, you don't just say things just for the sake of saying them. You say it to communicate something. And then also, when in doubt as an actor, just listen and respond. I feel like 90% of acting, when in doubt, you could just listen to the other actor and then respond. And that's going to be a really solid choice for your performance. The other actor has dialogue. They're saying something to you, and you need to like catch that. You need to think about that. You need to be in thought, and then you need to respond. So those are some of the things that I'm starting to think about. And that's why I think the audition went pretty well for me. I considered a lot of those things and feel like I made good choices in that interview. Again, we'll see in 48 hours, but those are just some of my thoughts on, why I think I did well. And even if I don't get this part, I'm going to bring those principles with me to other auditions and to other productions and to everything else that I do.